Hi, I'm Caitlin Cissne with ForexTV. I'm joined today by Tim Bourquin talking about this year's Traders Expo. Thanks for joining me, Tim.
Thanks for having me on.
What seems to be the hot topic in New York this year?
The New York show is always very much equity-centric just because it's New York City and kind of the central area of the world for equities. But Forex has been a big part of that as well and has been growing for a long time. So there's so many products right now for traders to get involved with in terms of options and futures on currency. There's a lot, I think, to take in. So where it used to be, let's talk about how we are short-term traders of the stock market, now it's just a whole lot of things. So people are not only wondering what to trade, but then what security to use to trade it. So I think the hot topic is what's the best security to trade if I've got an idea about where I think a direction of a certain market should go, and then finding out the technical aspects. Do market technicals work on equities? Can I transfer that to currencies as well? So there's a lot involved in it. Trading's become pretty complicated in some ways just because of all the things that there are to trade. So Forex is big, equities are big, and I think the two of those people, they're trading a little bit of each right now, so I think it's a big topic.
What do you see as the mindset of traders coming into the Expo?
We have attendance here that's probably going to be bigger than we've had in a few years, which typically we see when the markets are starting to rise. But there's a lot of concern, there's a lot of uncertainty too. So I think that traders are most concerned about, okay, regardless of the direction of the market, what kind of charts do I need to be looking at to really make short-term profits? Because for the trader, of course, they're less concerned about where we're going to be a year from now than they are where we're going to be next week. And so I think the mindset is they realize that technical analysis is a huge part of what they do, but they can't ignore the fundamentals because we're in an election year and there's a lot of changes that are going to be happening. The Fed's been moving a lot in terms of interest rates, and so we have a very focused group in terms of technical analysis. They're always, I think, primarily focused on the charts, but the fundamentals about what's happening in the economy and gold and interest rates are important too. So I think they feel like they need to incorporate the two to really have a good, solid plan for short-term trading.
What sessions do you see as being the most popular this year?
The sessions that are the most popular are always the ones that focus on what can I do right now. So it's always the instructors that are very good about saying, here's where we are in the markets right now. Let's take a look at some actual trades that we've done in the past and how they've worked out. Some of the sessions that I see being very popular and always the most crowded are the ones that say, here's how you're going to look at a chart and some very concrete information about how to view a 5-minute chart and what to put on the chart. So we get all levels of experience here at the show. We get people that have never traded a stock before in their life, and then people that have been trading for 10 years now online, and longer than that too. So I think that the most popular session, especially this year, is going to be the ones that are on Forex and commodities. Those are typically popular anyway, more so on the East Coast for whatever reason, maybe because we're here in New York, but those are the ones that I see the most popular.
Do you find that the mindset in LA and in Vegas, is it different from New York, what the traders are looking for?
I think a little bit. On the West Coast, they react to the markets a little bit differently. I think the West Coast tends to be a little even more shorter-term traders, maybe the true day traders. Certainly they're here in New York City as well. But on the West Coast, I think that they're a lot more focused on intraday trading. That just seems to be the trend that we've seen of the people that come to the show. So they're much more concerned about 5-minute charts, even tick charts, than they are about the daily charts, which seems to be a bigger focus here on the East Coast.
Why do traders come to the Expo?
Traders come to the Expo for a couple of different reasons. If you're a trader at home, that can be kind of a bit lonely of a business. You're in chat rooms sometimes, or you're maybe talking with some friends who are trading, but for the most part, you're in front of a screen for most of the day by yourself. And so the networking aspects of coming to the show have always been really important. I've always said some of the best conversations at the show happen out in the hallways and at the receptions, where you actually get to meet other traders and talk to them about what's working for them and what their thoughts are on what charts to watch or what they should throw up on a chart. So it's a great place to do that because you don't get a chance to do that very often when you're trading at home. But another reason I think is because even if you're a really experienced trader, they want to come and see if the way they're thinking about the markets is on track with the rest of the sentiment. I mean, you can always be a contrarian and do the opposite of what everybody's thinking, but I think they want some kind of validation that the way I'm approaching the markets, the way I'm looking at these charts, and the markets that I'm looking at, I'm doing it the right way, if there is a right way. And so there's a lot of opportunities to just kind of validate what you're already doing. And then if you learn one or two new strategies that you can add to your trading repertoire over the 3 days, it's worth your time. So every speaker, I think, has got something to offer. The idea is not to just take one speaker as the end-all, be-all strategy person, but to take a little bit from each class and kind of add it to your own trading style, too. And that's a big part of it, is making sure that it fits your style, too, and you're not doing something that makes you uncomfortable by trading a market that's too fast or too slow. It's got to fit.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, Tim.
Thanks very much.
We've been speaking with Tim Bourquin about this year's Traders Expo. Thanks for joining us on ForexTV.com.